October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Over 200,000 women and over 2,000 men will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer. Schedule your mammogram today so that you're in the race for the cure. What's up? What it do? How you doing? And I am back with another video. Today, E&E family, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious sweet potato pie with a ginger snap crust. Don't go nowhere. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the crust. These are just some ginger snaps I put in the food processor and ground them up. I've added a little sugar to it. Not a lot of sugar. Ginger snaps are already kind of sweet, so you don't need a lot of sugar, maybe like a tablespoon at the most. I have a little melted butter here that I'm going to add. And we're just going to get that mixed up. You basically do this crust like you would do your crust for your cheesecakes when you do your graham cracker crust. So we're going to get that all mixed in. You don't want it overly wet with butter, but it does need to be pretty moist, a good amount of moisture, so that all the crumbs come together. Now, we want to get this packed down into our pie plate. And I just like to do it just like that. If you have too much, that's okay. You can take a little out. Just like that. And while you're doing this, if it still seems a little dry, just push it all back down in the pan and add a little bit more butter. Just like that. Just like you would your graham cracker crust for your cheesecake. And I tell you how I stumbled across this. It was actually my mom. She made one, and y'all, it was so bomb. I was like, who would have thought of doing a ginger snap crust for a sweet potato pie? It was so delicious. So I hope when you guys try this, you love it as much as I did, because, oh my goodness, it was really bomb. Something different besides your traditional pie crust, which I am not a good pie crust maker, so if you ever see me use a pie crust in a video, believe, trust and believe, I purchased it, because I am not a good pie crust maker at all. Okay, so we got that all in there. We're going to set this aside. And we're going to get started on our filling. Okay, so let's get started on our filling. I pre-baked my sweet potatoes. I baked them in the oven. Just like that. I don't boil my potatoes when I make a sweet potato pie. To me, you're defeating the purpose of the flavor. To me, you lose a lot of flavor when you boil the potatoes. So I like to bake them off in the oven. And then it's really easy to peel the skin off when you bake them in the oven. It comes off so easy, just like that. So get these all peeled off, get all the skin off. And if you have a little part you don't like, a little burnt part, that's okay. Just take the knife and cut it off. Get all that off. And try not to take too much of the sweet potato with you, because you want it in your pie, not in the trash. Okay, so let's get that in there. I'm going to continue to peel the potatoes, and then we'll get our other ingredients added in.
And this is General Chang.
so we have all of our potatoes peeled and in the mixer. I'm going to turn this on for just a second to make sure we got everything smoothed out with the potatoes before I add my other ingredients. And how many potatoes you use is up to, depends on how many pies. I just used 3 today, but you can use more depending on how many pies you're making. I'm just making 1. Okay, so forgot my brown sugar. One moment. I'm going to start with a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And I think everyone can see this. And get that packed in there. It's okay if you're a messy Marvin while you're doing this. The best cooks are messy cooks. Okay, so that's a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to start with a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg can be a little overpowering, so you kind of want to be careful with the nutmeg. So we're going to start with a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And seeing as I use heaping teaspoons. I'm going to add a little ginger. Half teaspoon of ginger. And vanilla. Guys, I am really funny about vanilla. I love a good Madagascar bourbon vanilla. I get this from Marshall's Home Goods. $11.99 for a bottle this size. And it's absolutely amazing. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons because I like a good vanilla taste of vanilla. And it smells so good. Oh. Vanilla overboard. Okay. Next, we're going to add a little bourbon. Y'all didn't think I was going to make this sweet potato pie. I didn't add no bourbon, did y'all? So just a little bourbon. I'm going to add a little in for now, and then I'll go back and taste and see what I need to add later. And the juice, I'm going to start with a 1/2 lemon, but the juice of a lemon, 1/2 lemon. And be careful you don't have any seeds that fall in there. Okay. Kind of brightens it up a little bit. To balance everything out, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. So let's get this mixed up.
And this is General Chang.
So we're going to give this a taste and see where we are on seasoning before I proceed with anything else. Okay. That is amazing. So one other thing I like to add is a little half and half. Maybe a tablespoon worth. Just like that. Let's get that mixed up. And I'm actually going to add the rest of my bourbon. Y'all know I was going to add the rest. So before I add my eggs, I like to do I don't taste test once I add my eggs. So that's why I'm taste testing now. So let me give it another quick taste just to make sure we are where we need to be with seasoning. Delicious, y'all. Okay. I'm going to add 2 eggs. One at a time. Mix them in one at a time. Make sure they're well incorporated. And we'll add our second one. And we just want to mix that until it's well incorporated into our batter. Okay. I think that's it right there, y'all. That is it right there. Okay, so we're going to get this added to our crust, our ginger snap crust. I'm just going to give it one more go around before I do that. Okay. Let's get our attachment off, get all that goodness off of there. We do not want to lose any of that goodness. Okay, and let's grab our crust. Get this in here. Look how amazing this looks already. It hasn't even cooked and it looks amazing. All that goodness. Every last drop out. And if you wanted to, you could do a crumb topping on top of this. It's the same type of crumb topping you would use for an apple pie, an apple crisp. I'm not doing that today, but that is definitely something you can add to the top of this. And you see, I am not trying to leave anything behind. Okay, let me get this smoothed out on the top so it's even. and just give it a light. So everything settles. And I want to show you guys, hopefully that doesn't white out, what that looks like. Looks amazing. We are going to bake this in a 350 degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Everything except for the eggs. You want to cook it that long because of the eggs. So we'll check it at the 20-minute mark and see where we need to be. Don't go nowhere. And our sweet potato pie is finally done. It is still very warm. I want you guys to get a look at it. You see I've cut a piece out. I was a little presumptuous, seeing as it was not all the way cool. So when I cut into it, it didn't come out exactly pretty. But we're going to get a taste to see what it tastes like. Really good flavor. You can taste all of those spices. The lemon, which brightens it up, is not too sweet. The ginger snap crust gives it an extra layer of flavor that you wouldn't expect. Really delicious. And that's it for today, E&E family. Thank you for rocking out with me today. Make sure you click on the links below for additional information on breast cancer awareness. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are in the description box below. And as always, E&E family,